President Trump says tariffs will squeeze China into economic submission. The United States is about 14% of China's exports. They make 80% of the smartphones we buy, gaming consoles, laptops, and other tech tools. So will it work? And are the markets headed for more rough waters? Joining me now, one of my favorite people, NYU Business School professor, co-host of the Pivot podcast, Scott Galloway. I love you and miss you. Thank you for coming on.
Best intro I've ever had. My friend and your gift. You're half right, Chris. I am your friend. Look, I realize it's bad form to comment on a previous guest, but I just want to highlight, in terms of our ability to quote unquote wreck the Chinese economy, the largest trading partner of China is the Association of Southeast Asian Nations at about $1 trillion. Number two is actually the EU at 900 billion. We're third at 800 billion. So we could absolutely hurt them, but be clear, if 4 out of 5 toys are coming from China and you double the price of them, and 90% of American households are on a fixed budget, you're talking about half the toys under the Christmas tree. And to Bill's point, Americans are not very, we don't like to endure a lot of pain. And in addition, the idea of a $3,500 iPhone, the entry-level assembler at a plant in Shenzhen for Apple makes $500 a month. We want to bring those jobs back. So look, there's a great professor at Berkeley, and he says, all right, intelligent people help themselves while helping others. Bandits help themselves while hurting others. Artists, philanthropists, and martyrs help others while hurting themselves. But the definition of stupid is doing something that hurts others while you hurt yourself. And I would argue this entire tariff mess is literally the definition of stupid. Yeah, can we hurt China? Sure we can. We will also hurt ourselves. I don't know who gets hurt more. Doesn't matter. This is stupid, Chris.
What does it mean to you that Trump yearns for the Gilded Age?
What, where we had outdoor plumbing and child labor, as you pointed out in your intro? I'll take Novocaine and Netflix. This is just insane. We live, as much as social media has convinced us to hate our country, people our age, Chris, 1 in 2 of us feel pretty good about America. Unfortunately, it's 1 in 10 among millennials and Gen Z. But if you were to survey the 159 sovereign nations in the world and ask them who they'd want to be, I bet 158 would vote the U.S. We're less bad. Things are less bad here than anywhere in the world. I mean, who would you want to trade? Literally, who would you want to trade places with in terms of freedoms, rights, at the lowest cost ever, the lowest taxes relative to the rights and the prosperity ever in economic history? So the notion that somehow we're doing really poorly, do we have income inequality? Do we have huge division? Do we have polarization? Absolutely. But, you know, we're the least bad place in the world right now.
You know, one of the reasons I was excited to have you on, for all you guys, I know you know who Scott is, but he has been so on and ahead of the curve about young men. And I just feel that those who voted for Trump hoping that he would take up their cause, to hear him say, yeah, we're going to do tariffs and you got to suck it up. And, well, he doesn't really see about investment in those new jobs. And he's not about the CHIPS Act. You know, he wants to go back to the other manufacturing. I just feel like it must be such a betrayal for them to hear all this and be like, really? This is the guy's plan? He wants me to sew sneakers?
Yeah, Dave Chappelle summarized it perfectly. We want to wear Nikes, not make them. And quite frankly, the Cato Institute did a study. 80% of Americans, we have this sort of romanticization of manufacturing. 80% of Americans think we need more manufacturing, but only 1 in 5 Americans have any interest in working in a plant. There aren't a lot of people lining up to work on the shop floor or at the plants in Lansing, Michigan. And we have purposely outsourced these low-wage manufacturing, dirty manufacturing jobs for high-end service, marketing, strategy, service jobs that just pay more. You'd rather be an associate at JP Morgan than working on the shop floor at General Motors. That's the bottom line. The narrative that the stock market may need to go down to repair this, I can kind of empathize with that. I think if we were to raise minimum wage, if he was serious about young men, raise minimum wage to $25 an hour. This myth that all these businesses would go out of business is nothing but a myth. If minimum wage had just kept pace with productivity and inflation, it'd be at $23 to $24 an hour. If we decided to make huge investments in infrastructure and create shovel-ready jobs for young people, 70% of which would go to males, and that took stocks down, fine, I get it. But this is taking the value. Apple lost the value of Walmart in 3 days. And when your parents don't have as much money, when the companies are in a state of what I'll call, unfortunately, the American brand right now suffers from what I would call toxic uncertainty. That means brands and companies are less willing to invest. And quite frankly, do you think they're hiring a lot of young people right now? Can't you imagine a lot of companies are saying, we were going to interview you, we had big hiring plans, but we're going to press the pause button right now until we know what's going on. This is bad. Literally, it's hard to imagine anyone except probably the people who bought options today who maybe had inside information on his plan. This has made no sense for anybody. There are very few winners here.
Scott Galloway, my audience is a winner because they got to hear your perspective. The Pivot podcast with Kara Swisher. Just go online, spend a little time, and find what Scott Galloway is doing. You will be better for it. Thank you for doing me the favor of your appearance tonight. I appreciate you. Dinner on me.
Thank you, my friend.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.